It requires many billions of years to create a galaxy like the Milky Way system. Our perception into the universe grows an exceptional deal consistently as researchers all over the international make magnificent revelations that change what we understand today. We can talk in all likelihood the hottest and much less notable revelations that even the maximum skilled specialists can't sort out. Go together with us as we look into the profundities of room and locate mysteries that help us with drawing closer to settling the absolute most substantial inquiries regarded to Gaia. We will take a gander at bizarre exoplanets that might disrupt the hints of physical technological know-how and unusual inestimable events that no one has had the choice to make sense of. Envision that a planet became located within the external portions of our nearby planet group that follows its famous person in opposite contrasted with special planets. Similarly, to the reality that this kind of find be captivating, might it likewise improve doubt about current thoughts concerning how planetary frameworks structure. Analysts have as of late discovered a portion of those strange exoplanets. For instance, a few circle their stars in exceptionally close circles, which makes the surface extremely hot and ready to melt metals. Others are maverick planets that meander through the world without a star. This makes individuals wonder wherein they came from and how they live alive within the brutal weather of room. Information the intricacies of those odd grand bodies extensively grows the place of technology. This significantly influences both students' interest and useful troubles. For instance, how we could live on one-of-a-kind universes later on. Each new finding is an essential piece in putting the massive riddle of the universe collectively. Contemplate what it would intend to tune down water fume on a far-off world or to discover a planet with an environment like Earth's. These results may want to display where conditions are ideal for life to start that can assist with arranging destiny excursions to these distant spots. Understanding the extremely good shapes and ways of behaving of these planets likewise assists researchers with running on their fashions of the layout and improvement of the universe. This gives us suggestions about the beyond and eventual fate of Earth. Envision that we find an exoplanet whose way isn't always easy, which conflicts with current speculations of gravity and makes us question what we anticipate we are familiar. Fabric science and how things move in area. Similarly to the fact that this is relatively records precious for faculty, but it's going to likewise affect innovation and space studies. The finding of 2007 or 10, the biggest international in our close-by planet institution that hasn't been named at this factor, is a captivating contextual research almost about a way to find and focus on heavenly our bodies. This remote item that is in the dispersed plate local beyond Neptune permits stargazers both new assignments and possibilities. Cosmologists determined 2007 or 10 interestingly at the same time as utilizing the Samuel Austin Telescope at Palomar Observatory for an regular take a look at it became affirmed to have been found through taking a gander at PR discovery pics made by using the Spacewatch assignment. This indicates how space technology is plenty of the time cooperative and prefer an investigator story. 2007 or 10 is the third biggest acknowledged bantam planet in our close-by planet organization. Its size is around 1,535 kilometers, which makes it a very extensive planet. In spite of the fact that it is relatively massive, it does not have a call yet since we do not absolutely hold close its circle and haven't had the choice to kind it out to the point of meeting the worldwide galactic affiliation norms for naming articles. Its floor is strangely dull and pink, which recommends that it carries complicated herbal mixtures referred to as tholins. Those are made when daylight hours hit straightforward herbal combos like methane and alkali. Did you had at the least some concept that regardless of its immense size 2007 or 10 remains nameless in mild of the truth that its circle has no longer completely set in stone with sufficient exactness to offer it a proper call. Its dull floor and slow pivot make it one of the close-by planet institution's most diffused articles. The investigation of 2007 or 10 incorporates each direct perceptions and laptop models that attempt to parent its way and kind out what its real residences are. To accumulate information, cosmologists make use of the two telescopes at the floor and ranges in area. For instance, the Hubble Area Telescope. The light bends from these perceptions help us with testing its pretty gradual flip duration. It requires around 45 hours to finish a turn flip, making it one in every of the Kuiper belt protests that pivots the slowest. At the point while you notion we had a customary expertise of our planetary organization, revelations like 2007 or 10 move alongside to task our viewpoints. In any case, dangle tight, what we discover next about any other a long way off divine body may additionally thoroughly reconsider the unthinkable. This prologue to 2007 or 10 now not just makes manner for a greater profound inspect bizarre divine bodies, but it likewise suggests how we're as yet tracking down new things in the outside nearby planet organization. Each snippet of facts we get assists us with diving greater deeply into these remote universes and the universe all in all. Brilliant warm Neptunes are an intriguing gathering of extrasolar planets that do not act like usual planets. These gadgets in area circle fantastically close to their stars, a lot nearer than Mercury does to our Sun. This implies that the surfaces of these articles can get pretty hot over 1,700 degrees Celsius 392 degree F. Being so close to their host stars difficulties what we assume we're familiar with the way that planets structure and the way they live alive. In light of the reality that it is able to spark off environmental blow-off, that's the point at which the weather is sincerely torn away by the radiation and winds of the star. To provide you a version ponder KLT9b, a noticeably warm Neptune that is warm to the point that particles like water can't shape and on second concept separate into nuclear hydrogen. Noticing these planets not simply assessments what we assume we are acquainted with environments yet moreover how well our modern fashions of making an investment planets into bunches. Attempt outrageous situations raise big inquiries concerning the assortment and power of planetary frameworks. Anywhere on the off danger that you contrast super warm Neptunes with specific kinds of planets, what do you think the reasons are? Their scarcity may want to have something to do with how they framed and the circumstances that ought to be met to make such cruel settings. Allow us to realize your idea procedure in the remarks. Is it secure to say which you are keen on the insider statistics of 2007 or 10 sincerely preserve until you discover about ISK 1348-34? What researchers found round this extraordinarily big famous person might be the manner to sorting out how heavenly Goliath structure. This alteration from discussing extraordinarily warm Neptunes to discussing ISK 1348-34 proposes that we can keep on investigating the maximum interesting and maximum outrageous matters regarded to mankind. Every point expands on the past 10 in on the new revelations and amazements that hold to a rise in technology and make us query what we expect we recognize. A 1348-34 is an extremely great famous person within the extremely profound pieces of the heavenly frame Centaurus. Every other investigation of this star has found out new insight into how confounded superstar association is. This great inestimable body that is more than 1 times the mass of our solar has raised doubt approximately the opportunity that vast stars are generally made when greater modest stars collide with and converge with one another. All things taken into consideration, the locating of a large circle of gasoline and residue circling ISK 1348-34 proposes that even the greatest stars ought to body further that more modest stars do. By leisurely assembling be counted from a protoplanetary plate. Such an final results makes essential affix. It's not only a degree element. The plate around ISK 1348-34 is shifting and loaded with complex natural atoms and residue particles that connect to one another certainly. Even in those brutal instances, this cooperation ought to make planet structure, which could imply that researchers can thoroughly seek in extra spots for new universes and perhaps life. Stargazers can paintings on their models of ways stars broaden and trade over the lengthy hall through diving more deeply into the circle houses. Together, a YC 1348-34's strong splendor and the gravitational draw of its mass make it a one-of-a-type spot to concentrate on how count demonstrations in a portion of the universe's most enthusiastic areas. This observe is vital for both delineating the life sample of stars and investigating the hazard of planets framing in places that have been believed to be excessively adverse previously. Our next difficulty is maverick planets, which incorporates each the interesting conditions of massive stars like ISK 1348-34 and the mystery planets that meander the universe. These puzzling our bodies which waft in space without a celeb to circle around make us contemplate what a planet is and in which they are able to are living. Maverick planets are both ordinary and academic. They are every other boondocks as we persevered looking for records about the arena. Speedy inquiry what might show up to a planet that isn't held installation via the gravity of a star. We're going to find out with our subsequent difficulty, which is maverick universes. We flow from discussing significant superstar frameworks like ISK 1348-34 to discussing perilous planets. This is pretty feasible of the most exciting factor almost about area science. These are divine matters that move via area without being pulled by using any megastar. They're additionally called maverick planets or unfastened drifting planets. That is totally exceptional from the standard concept of planets as matters that circle stars in an affordable planetary institution. These unusual space voyagers are not kept down through the gravity of any celebrity, so they journey through the sky without help from absolutely everyone else. They're locating conflicts with the trendy thoughts regarding how planets shape, which say that the gravitational draw of a star is predicted to accumulate and shape planetary bodies. Riot planets are remembered to frame in one among two approaches. Possibly they're tossed out of their home planetary companies by way of gravitational pulls, or they shape on their very own in a haze of stars, which can be as but growing yet by no means get collectively with a star. Maverick planets are particularly elusive and implies like microlensing are a great deal of the time used to music down them from Earth. This occurs when the maverick planet momentarily flickers more remarkable than a superstar as it passes before it. Those activities are interesting, however precious possibilities to become acquainted with the factors of these meandering planets. Planets that burst off base tremendously affect how we might interpret the sector. They display that planetary frameworks is probably fairly mind-boggling and converting, and that the right occasions for planet arrangement can occur in extra occasions than virtually those in which planets circle stars. Likewise is the sheer number of these planets, probably greater than the celebrities in our own cosmic device, focuses to a tremendous mystery population that challenges our thoughts concerning how everyday and fan-out matters are within the universe. It is doable that these flying universes are extra everyday than stars, which raises fascinating inquiries concerning the danger of lifestyles in these brutal spots. May lifestyles at any factor exist beneath a thick of ice that is warmed by geothermal depth on a planet that is journeying via the virus space? The possible outcomes make us do not forget a few fresh possibilities and push us to song down higher ways of distinguishing things as we keep on investigating area. Targeting maverick planets not simply assists us with locating out approximately how planets shape and how they stay alive, but it likewise opens up additional choices for our quest for lifestyles past Earth. Presently, we must direct our awareness towards an interesting vicinity of tremendous evaluate that gazes directly into how lifestyles commenced. Complex natural synthetics were found within the protoplanetary circles around younger stars by means of new examinations. Those debris that are now and again known as the shape blocks of lifestyles are constructed from diverse carbon-based materials that are important for lifestyles on this planet. As a long way as we is probably worried to start protoplanetary circles are thick regions of gasoline and residue that shape round lately framed stars. They're where planetary frameworks begin. Complex natural atoms had been located in these settings, which can be constantly evolving subatomic structure blocks like amino acids and easy sugars are made through compound responses increased by means of the youthful star's electricity and diverse sports inside the circle. Those atoms being located in protoplanetary plates is massive on the grounds that it means that the shape blocks for existence might be fanned out across the universe interior the circles that at lengthy closing met up to form new planets. This implies that vital situations for lifestyles to begin happen from the get-go while stars and planets are being framed. You could believe a protoplanet AR plate as an amazing kitchen in area in which numerous materials are combined as one to make a recipe. The circle blends gas residue and herbal particles under the effect of heavenly electricity, like how a dough puncher blends flour, sugar, and eggs to make a cake. This could prompt the improvement of planets that can uphold life. This extensive recipe units the stage sometime before planets even absolutely shape. This intends that in the event that lifestyles begins to frame FR on a planet, its essential shape blocks had been probable gotten rolling from the get-go within the existence of its big name. This locating now not just assists us with searching into wherein lifestyles should start, yet it likewise opens up the viable tenable zones to incorporate an extra full-size scope of planetary settings. We never once more want to look for planets with lifestyles on them. Presently we are able to ponder how life could begin in the area among the celebrities. The investigation of complex herbal artificial compounds in protoplanetary plates prompts higher strategies for looking for existence beyond Earth and brings up fascinating issues approximately whether the structure blocks of existence are the equal all over the area. We gain some useful knowledge approximately the situations that could allow existence to start any place within the universe. As we maintain on targeting these big houses, as we proceed with our look into the peculiar, we have to look into the uncommon matters approximately Kepler 78b, a planet that apparently should not exist in view of ordinary thoughts regarding how planets shape. This extrasolar planet query our logical mind, however, it additionally catches our minds with highlights which are like Earth. In 8.5 hours, Kepler 78b makes a round ride around its celebrity, which is lots closer than Mercury is to our Sun.